So if we want to create a custom list, I want to believe you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so if you want to create a custom list, first of all, you will type the list. Let's assume this is name of staff. So you type the names. I'll just be typing any name I see on the screen. Okay. Okay, so let's work with these names. So let's assume this is the names. These are the names you keep typing and typing. So you can just create a custom list by you go to file, you go to what? To file, then you go to options, then you see this dialog box. On these options, you click on advanced. You click on advanced. So now, as you can see, this is not active. Let me close it. Now select the names, file, options, advanced, scroll down on under advanced, you scroll down, you will see the section where we have edit custom list. That's under the general section. You'll see edit custom list. So you click on edit custom list. Then you will see you will see on those inbuilt custom lists that we used to see. All these ones are inbuilt. This is the one I created before. So what you do is you click on import, you click on, just remove this. Now if you look at the name that we have, it's from, the names are from, is from what, G2 to G8. So you just type G2 to G8. Okay, so we are trying to import the list. So once you type that, you discover that it will appear here, list entries. Like if I delete this now, so G2 towards G8. So you click on what? Import. The names will be here. Then you add the names to this list. Then when you are done, you click what? OK. And then click OK. So if I type and then I use autofill and drag down, it will give me the names. So let me go back, options, advanced, edit custom list. Let me click delete. I want to delete it. So I want to go over the steps again. So first I said you will type the words, the names that you want to create or you want to use as a custom list. You want to create this, you want this to always come, as a list when you use the autofill option. So first you type the names. It could be names, it could be anything. So but we are using names as an example. So you type the names. After typing the names, you go to, you can select the names, go to file options, go to advanced, you scroll down to general, you see edit custom list, click on it. Then you can see that because I'm selecting the names, it's appearing on the import section. So just click on what? Import. Once you click on import, to appear here, and you also see it here. So then you can click on OK, and then click on OK again. Then anytime you type any name from the list, it could be this, it could be this. So if I type that, if I click and drag, it will give me the other names on the list. So all I need to do is just type any name on the list and get the others using autofill. So I think we'll leave autofill. So that's what you use autofill for. Those are some of the things we can do with autofill. Then the next thing we look at is how do we format numbers. How do we format numbers? So to format numbers, we would look at, there are different ways we can format our numbers. Like if you look at these numbers that we have here, the format is just a general format that we are using, like just numbers. So we can set our numbers in currency. Sometimes when you are calculating in currency, that is, you are dealing with money, and it will not make sense just leaving it like this, like we have here, because somebody coming here to see this, the person will not know that, oh, this is 600 maybe naira, or 600 pounds, or $600. Person will see it as just normal number. So but when you are working with currency, what you are actually calculating or working on is currency. It's important you format your number as currency. So how do you do that? Sometimes you might need to add decimal points or decimal values to your numbers. How do you do that? So you have to format. So if you look at the home tab, under this section, the number section, you see you have a list here. So in this list will allow us to format our number in different ways. Like we have the general, which is the default, no specific format. That's the default. So we can format as a number, we can format as currency, we can format as accounting, short date, long date, time, percentage, fraction, and then scientific. So let's assume this is 600 naira. So I can click here and click currency. So a currency symbol will appear in front of the number. So that is for currency, or maybe this is the percentage. I could click, so it will give me 590 or whatever percentage, but it's to have the percentage in front. So if I'm calculating with this particular number now, it will treat it as a percentage and not just the normal number it was before. Okay, you could format as fraction. So but then if you want to see all the settings, like this thing is giving us naira now, what if I don't want naira? What do I do? Maybe it's dollar or pounds or something else that I want. Now if you want to see further options to format your number, you click on, under the number section, you see this small point here, click on it. Now it will open this format cells dialog box, and from there you can do some other adjustments. So you are going to see all the categories of number formats, like from general to number to currency. So currency, under currency, you will see this currency symbol. So you can click and choose any currency symbol you want. So we have different currency of different countries there. So you can see this is Japanese yen. Okay. So now we have yen instead of naira. So I can always go back to change. So now this is can change to euro. So this is 600 euro. So from here you can format your number as currency. Then sometimes you can also format your number by, this one here is what we call comma, the comma separator. So this is like, especially when you are dealing with thousand, hundreds of thousand and all that. So to make it easy for the number to be seen, okay, this is 1236. So you could add a comma to allow that. So from here we could do different, formatting. Under here we could format our numbers. We could format our numbers. Then if you want to see more options, click on this button here and come here. So currency, like I said, adds a currency symbol. Select any currency symbol you want from here. You could also add decimal place if you want. Accounting also adds a currency symbol, but in a different format. So if you click on this 401, click here, click on accounting, choose a currency symbol, maybe like naira, click OK. So to add it, let me make this select. It will add the currency and decimal point in different columns. So everything that we have here is used to format our numbers. Then we have the last one we have is what we call custom formatting. So we have different custom formatting options. So this one you can just format your numbers differently. Now there's something that happens in Excel. Whenever you type, Excel doesn't allow you to have 0 in front of a number. Like if you type 090, Excel will change it to what? To 90. Maybe you are typing a phone number 0801867. By the time you leave that cell, Excel will remove the 0 in front and you'll be left with something else. So maybe you're working on the sheet and you needed to add people's phone number. So how do you keep the 0 in front? So you have to do a custom format, because Excel doesn't, by default, Excel doesn't allow you to put 0 in front. So you can see it's removing the 0. Excel will remove the 0. There was a 0 in front. If I put 0, it should remove it. So how do we do that? You click on this point, come to custom and click here. Are you seeing? Can you see the screen? Okay, so you click here and type. So we type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many numbers do I have there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just keep typing. And okay, so I've typed like 13 zeros. So the 13 zeros, I'm telling Excel, oh, I want 13 numbers with 0 included. because if you see the custom set number format I choose, I want my number to start with 0, which is this first one here. I want my number to start with 0 from the custom style that I'm choosing. So I will add more numbers. Then I can click what? OK. Then the 0 will appear in front. So Excel will not remove the 0. As you can see, the 0 will remain there. So that's just a format. These are some of the things we can do with numbers. You can add currency. This is accounting. This is currency. This is accounting. You can add percent. Maybe you want to type 15. You want to type percentage. You want to type a percentage. So you can keep your number 15 and then like that. General, this is 15, then you want to make it percent, just click on the percentage here and you discover that it's adding. So you can now this 1 to 1 to this one we are seeing here is increase decimal and decrease decimal. So if you have a decimal number or you want to add a decimal point to your number, just do increase decimal and add a decimal point, or you could remove, you could add, you could remove. Could add decimal point to this and remove. So those are some of the little things we can do. So I would move on to how we can format our changing the font format, how we can work with fonts. How can we work with fonts? Okay, so let me come to this sheet. So how do we work with fonts? So this is where we actually carry out every formatting we want to do on the font. Like this is font. This is where we choose our font size, and font color, and the other things we have there. So it's just very straightforward. If you want to change your font, at the moment our font is Calibri. Font size is 11. So you could change your font to whatever you want it to be and increase the size. So, but remember that when you are doing all these adjustments, you must highlight the cell or cells. So as you can see, I'm highlighting the cells and before I'm making my changes. Font size. Now, if you don't highlight the cells, it's not going to affect them. Like I told you that each of these cells are independent of each other. So it's the one you are highlighting or selecting that whatever changes you are making will affect. So you could just come here easily and make some changes. But apart from making some changes from here, maybe like applying bold, italic, underline, you could also see some more options with respect to font from here by clicking on this button at the bottom. So it will open the format cells dialog box and giving us more options for font like strike through, superscript, subscript, and font color, and the other things we've seen before, like the font style, font size. So we could just do whatever we want to do, make adjustments, increase the size, change the color, do what we want, all from this section. Instead of choosing a font size from here, from this place, could just do it from here. This is decrease fonts, increase fonts, increase font size, decrease font size. So whatever we want to do, we can do the adjustment to our font from this section. So now we'll look at how we can format, do some other kind of formatting, like alignment, in terms of how we can arrange our fonts. In like if you've worked with Microsoft Word, you discover that in Microsoft Word we have only 4 types of alignment. We have align left, align center, align right, and then justify. So those are the 4 alignment options that we have in in Microsoft Word. But in Excel we have 6 alignment options. Basically we have 6. Now that's because we are dealing with cells, and if you look at a cell is a box. So at this moment, if you look at this cell, you discover that the alignment is left, bottom left. So we have what we call vertical and horizontal alignment in Excel. So if you check this point, this point that is labeled alignment, you discover that we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which is called, this is left, center, right. That's for horizontal alignment. Then we'll have top, middle, bottom. That is for vertical alignment. So at this moment we have bottom left. So that is what it is. This default, that's the default. Okay, as we can see here. So we can change it, center, but at the bottom, right at the bottom. So we could say left, top, center, top, right, top, or middle, left, center, and right. So any of those positions could use. So those are different alignment position, both vertically and horizontally. So this, you could move like this: top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom. So it's because we are dealing with a box, so we can align it in any of those position. Okay, then another thing we'll look at is how we can, like for instance, if you are typing in Excel, like you discover that sometimes what you want to type, the size of your cell, the content you want to put inside a particular cell will be bigger than the size of the cell. Like you can see now, this is Excel application. Okay, so this is the size of our cell, like you can see, but what we are typing is longer. So we have the option of increasing the size of the cell. But what if we don't want to increase it? We can use something like what we call wrap text, to wrap the content of the cell to fit into the size of the cell. So this is wrap text here. So you could click on it, and then it would wrap the content of the cell into the cell. So you click on wrap text, so it will wrap the content of the cell to fit into the size of the cell, irrespective of what the size of the cell is, to fit in the content. So this is Excel. You can see it broke the straight line text into different line of text so that it can fit into the size of the cell. So we don't need to like adjust our cell to fit in. So but we can still maintain the same size of cell, but we'll be seeing all the content of the cell. So that's what wrap text does. That's what wrap text. That's what I used in this place. If you check this if, okay, count if, you discover that total number of days present. That's because I used what? Wrap text. You can see I did not have to increase the cell like this, because I don't want the sheet, the whole thing to be too long. So I used what? Wrap text. After typing, click on the cell, click on what? Wrap text. After you type, click on the cell and click on wrap text. It could be a single cell. It could be multiple cells. Just select and apply wrap text. It will fit in the text into your cell. Now, if your cell is too small, you could be having something like this. Now, when you have something like this, you might need to adjust the height of the cell and also adjust the width a little bit so that it will be readable. Because if it's like this, I might not be able to read the total number of, to adjust the width of the cell. So we still look at how we can adjust the width of a cell. So adjust the width a little, so that it can be readable, and maybe adjust the height if you want to. Okay, so that's wrap text. Now, the next thing we'll look at is merge and center. Now, that's what I use. You discover that this cell is long. This is one cell, but it's long, and it's covering multiple columns. The cell is covering what? Multiple columns: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and it's just one long cell. So merge cells. Under merge cell, we have different options. So if you click on this, you see merge and center, you see merge across, merge cells, and finally on merge cells. So how do you use the merge cells? So let me unmerge this. So by default, this is what we have. So this is what we have by default. So you can type some. Okay. Somebody is raising his hand. Okay, do you have a question? Hello. Can everybody hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Those of you that are online, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, who
I
else
can hear you.
Who cannot hear me? Lovett, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. 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 So for the merge and center, first of all, you type your text. Let's say I want to merge all these cells. Can you hear me, Emmanuel? Can you hear me now? Let's say you want to merge all these cells. Now, merge and center, that's the first option, merge and center. So let me explain that first. So if you want to merge all these cells, how does it work? You merge all the cells and then centralize the text at the center, like we could see here. I merged all the cells and centralized the text at the center after the cells have been merged. So if you want to do that, first you type your text at the cell that is at the beginning, at the extreme left. So if I'm starting from this point, if I want to start from here and end there like this, I want to merge from B to G, I will have to type my text in B. If I want to merge from C to G, I will type my text inside C. cells, inside this cell C1. Because if I want to merge from C to G and I type my text in D, and by the time I'm merging and centering, any text I have in D will be discarded. So if we have this sum function, and then maybe I type another text here. So I want to merge from A to column G. So, and I want to merge and centralize this text sum function. So if I do merge and center, you can see it's telling me merging cells only keeps the upper left value and discards that values. So like I said, it's going to discard the text in B1 and just make use of only sum function.
Mr. James, Emmanuel says he can't hear you at all.
Okay, can you hear me now, Emmanuel? Can you?
He sent a message. I don't know.
He sent a message.
Yeah, I can see his message.
Microphone. I think that's a good one.
Okay, Emmanuel, try to. Okay, let me send him a message. Okay. Can you hear? Okay, I think he has left and came back. Let me see if you can hear now. Emmanuel, can you hear me? Okay, so like I said, you can see it discarded what will have this text, it discarded it and only used some function. So your text, the text you want to centralize after merging should be at the extreme left. So once you do that, it will merge all the cells you selected, to merge all of them and centralize your text. So that's the meaning of the center, merge and center. Merge all these cells, centralize the text. But that's what to do. But apart from that, you could just only use merge. You select a number of cells and then just do merge across. It will merge all the cells into one cell, as you can see. So merge across, or you could do, it could be horizontally, or it could be, you could do it vertically, merge across. So once you select the cells, you could also select merge across, and it doesn't, you could have a text here, and then you select some cells and then you do merge across. Now you can see our text is still in its former position because merge across now is different from the merge and center. So if I want to centralize this text, I will have to manually do that. Maybe centralize left, right, and all that. So that's for merge across. Then merge cells is, you could select a text a cells vertically and do merge cells. As if you want to select a column of cells, you use what? You want to merge them together, use merge cells. But if you want to merge a row of cells, you use what? Merge across. So this is for a row of cells, and that's merge cells is for a column of cells. Then merge and center works for row of cells, and it will also centralize the text that you have inside the cell that is at the extreme left. So those are some of the techniques that was used to create this merge and center. If you want to merge maybe all the cells, if you want to merge a cell, like I said, like I'm just trying to recap, if you want to merge cells that are in a column, use merge cells. If it is in a row, use merge across. So that's for merging cells. For alignment, so if you want to see other alignment options, you could click this button here and you see them other alignment option. So you could also work with this one is what we call text direction. You could change the direction of your text. You could make it to set your text to be flowing diagonally, like this. Just make it flow like that, if that is how you want the text to flow, instead of it being horizontal, which is the default. So you could do something like this. So you are just changing the direction of our text, setting it at a particular angle. So if you want to see more option for that, you come here, click on this button, and then from here you can see this thing here. You could change the direction of our text in any particular angle. Just click and drag this. You could set it at any angle, and it could be negative angle or positive, so depending on the direction you want to go. So we click this. So I'm selecting this cell G, come to this place, put it at minus 60. Okay, so you can see it's changing the direction, so going towards the negative axis. So